makes you feel he's a cool exec with a heart of steel.
As Iron Man, all jets ablaze, he's fighting and smiting with repulsor rays. Amazing armor,
There's Iron Man.
a blazing bomber.
There's Iron Man.
Oh, hey, hello there, and welcome to Marvel-ous Reviews. I'm Spider-Man, I'm Iron Man, and I'm Logan. Man and Wolverine, for crying out loud. You happy? Yep. Okay then. Now that we've all introduced ourselves, let me explain to you guys what this show is all about. Over the course of this series, me and my fellow superheroes of the mighty world of Marvel will be sitting down to review the various movies that we've starred in over the years. As for the film we are reviewing first, well, I'll leave the introduction to you, Mr. Tony Stark. Now, for our first episode, we'll be taking a look at the 2008 blockbuster movie Iron Man, the film that launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the film that revitalized Robert Downey Jr.'s career, and, might I add, okay, Tony, I said I wanted you to introduce the movie. I never said anything about a monologue. Yeah, trust you to showboat. Yeah, trust you to smell like... Okay! Anyway, the plot is as follows. The wealthy, genius, billionaire, playboy philanthropist known as Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., gets kidnapped by terrorist group the Ten Rings during a trip to Afghanistan to demonstrate a new missile made by his company, Stark Industries. The Ten Rings attempt to coerce Stark into building said missile for them, but Stark instead, with the help of fellow prisoner Yinsen, builds a mechanical suit to facilitate their escape. The suit functions long enough to get him out, but Yinsen is killed in the process. Stark is rescued and returned to America, where he holds a press conference immediately and announces that he is shutting down the weapons division of Stark Industries. He decides to build a more advanced version of the suit, keeping it secret from everyone except for his PA, Pepper Potts, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. Stark eventually realizes that his company has been dealing under the table when he is shown pictures of the Ten Rings attacking Yinsen's village, Golmira, with Stark Tech. Feeling responsible for the way people are misusing his technology, Tony dons his more advanced and, might I add, freshly painted suit and takes the fight to them as Iron Man. So what we essentially have here is an origin story, which a lot of superheroes are no stranger to in their movies, myself and Wolvie included. Don't mention that film to me, bub. And don't call me Wolvie. It's creepy. So, Tony, let's start with you in the movie. What did you think of Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of you? I mean, in my opinion, I thought he was fantastic. Well, to be honest, Spidey, he doesn't as much play me as he becomes me. I mean, every scene I saw him in, everything he did, everything he said, it felt like I was watching myself, which was a really weird experience, I must say. Yeah, right. Yeah, I totally see what you mean there, Shellhead. In my opinion, Robert Downey Jr. is the best thing about the movie. He's one of the best actors I've ever seen to play a superhero. I don't know what else I can say about him. He's just fantastic. I also liked how they balanced me in the film, because I can be a bit, headstrong. You're a jackass. Yeah, and you're a short ass. Watch it, bub. Try it, and I'll blast you out of the studio before you can lay a claw on me, shorty. Ugh. Anyway, let's talk about the love interest for this movie, Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts. What did you think of her, Tony? Well, I thought she was sexy. Somehow that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, she's very, she turns in a grade A performance in this movie. You know, for once, I can actually agree with the Tin Man. Well, I think we can all agree that Tony and Pepper's relationship is the best romance in a Marvel movie, bar none. It's a very different and stand-up relationship from the often cliché romance stories that unfold in other superhero movies. Yeah, like yours. Shut up, Logan. Whatever. But that's the key word here, really. Different. Yeah, sure, Iron Man is interesting, and the title character is fantastically well played, but one of the things that sets this movie above a lot of other superhero movies is the way it's treated more like an actual movie rather than a superhero movie. This also means it doesn't follow as much of the standard superhero movie formula like your movie. I mean it, Logan. Zip it. Yeah, bub. What? or I'll web you up and force you to watch the Batman and Robin movie on a loop for about a week. Yeah, that's what I thought. However, the film is not perfect, though. The final action scene, the fight between Iron Man and Ironmonger, played by a very sinister Jeff Bridges, I might add, feels a little too predictable and similar to the way standard superhero movie villain fights go. The weakened hero is forced to fight the all-powerful villain conspicuously out in the open. Plus, it is way too short. Oh, and you were doing so well before that. Well, what would you say then, Tony? I'd say this film is perfect. Yeah, because you're in the damn thing. Ugh, because it's different, that's why. If you say so, bub. Let's finish talking about the cast before we head over to the production aspects of the film. What are your thoughts on the rest of the cast, guys? Well, I will concede that Obadiah Stane was actually a really good villain. He had motivation, he was sinister, he was subtle, he actually blew me away for a second. So there we go. I'm not as miserable as I look, am I? You sure about that? Iron Man, how about you? Well, I agree with Logan on Jeff Bridges' performance as Obadiah Stane. He was a very subtle and calculating villain, and Bridges injected him with the right amount of menace. Terrence Howard also did a great job as Rhodey. He was very funny, but he was also very charming in his performance. Yeah, I agree with you on Terrence Howard as Rhodes, but I do think that Obadiah became too much of a stereotypical supervillain at the tail end of the movie. Sean Tube, I think, gave a real understated performance as Yinsen. I like the appearance of Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, and of course we have Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and Clark Gregg as Agent Coulson. We only see Fury in a post-credits scene that's there to set up the Avengers, but like Jon Favreau, his appearance is very much appreciated. Clark Gregg plays Phil Coulson with a dry, no-nonsense attitude, and it's great how the writers use him to introduce S.H.I.E.L.D. into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, yeah, now that we're done talking about the cast, let's move on to the action, the special effects, and the comedy.